between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Cards, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the field.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Just the first quarter, the tackling game is so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and learning all off-season about our season open opponent. And every single they can shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled them on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I missed it, it would have been a different story. Nice.
First down, here's Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. J.J. Watt that time, able to do what he does best, and that's sack the quarterback.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the
touchdown. Justin Jefferson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And some room to run now. Touchdown, Cardinals. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I agree, absolutely. Coaches worry about, but organizations worry about his overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. They run again on first down. Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Vikings at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He'll get 5 out of the scramble and hit second down.
That's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it?
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your touchdown, Vikings.
Adam Thielen from 21 yards away. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's Barkley on the counter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Right where the set him down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing Jones. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by who else? The former Cardinal, Patrick Peterson.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Cousins throw complete to Rager.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 8-yard line.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
14, Cardinals 7.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And complete right side to Cook. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
Joseph's got it,
and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well on that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Now Jones.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
82 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Second into his prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
A first down run from Barkley, pretty well defended. Give him 3 yards on the play.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Jones now on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Jones on 3rd down. Hurts over the middle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Jones.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Hey, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Second down and goal. Jones. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 3.
This one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals. as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Cousins.
Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll run it. Here's Cook.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
It's a pick up of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And the Cardinals force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Jones. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Cousins now from the 50. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. Past the 20. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score. A fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit.
The kick is good.
And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
17. Cardinals 14.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they may just be content to take this three-point lead and head into the locker room.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Brings up 2nd and 14 at the 21-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter. And they get Jones for the third time in this ballgame. Andrew Booth picks it off, and the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
And that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Cards are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out, on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off, because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back from both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Well, I'm not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. And second down now.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Boy, one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at him.
Under pressure, they got him again. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Andy Lena as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That's pulled in at the 32. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 39-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. To throw is Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Tackle there by Lewis Seen.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he gets it down to the 32. 103 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They give it off here to the tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here. It was Daniil Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Barkley hit in the ball, pops free. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You've got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Cousins now to throw on first down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Cook. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Now Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Cook following the penalty. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes Barkley hit and the ball pops free. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Joseph now to have the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Jones. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad drive, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and they will take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run
blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5.
102 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
Cook is in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Running again with Barkley on second down.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. They'll go to Barkley again. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And taken right on the 30. Oh, able to avoid him. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Up the middle, Nwangu. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
This was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were